with AI. We're going to be creating some stuff using this app. This app is called Procreate Dreams. It lets you animate stuff. So I can go like frame by frame, and you can see that it creates frames like this. And then when you go and slide through, you can kind of see how that would animate. And you can do some pretty advanced animation inside of this tool, and that's going to be our primary focus tonight. So welcome to the stream. Let's get right to it. Now, the focus for tonight will be to make some designs that we will then style transfer with an AI tool later this week. And so that's kind of the function I'm thinking of using. So let's get right to it. And it's really cool. But yeah, you can see how it animates, right? You can like change that spacing. So this lets you animate. So let's get right to it. So I'm going to start by kind of making a new track by hitting that plus button here. And in the plus button, we're just going to go ahead and move that as a new track. And let's go ahead and hide. I changed one setting that I usually use 3 fingers to squash and stretch the timeline. So I might need to adjust that real quick. I go to the settings, preferences, properties. Let's do loop, preferences, enable timeline edit. Okay. For some reason that gesture's not working. Okay. I'm gonna just make sure that my YouTube link is working. Okay. So I'm gonna start off by creating a new track, and I'm going to also just group. I'm gonna try to group all of this stuff. And then we'll hide it. And so what I'm thinking of doing, we want to also make sure that we have our good settings. So I'm going to set this to maybe 24 frames a second. Let's go 24. And let's make sure that this is 1920 by 1080. We'll do 1920 by 1080. Okay, it's a little bit smaller canvas. All right. So let's start off with a dot. Actually, we should probably start with outlines. Okay, so I'm trying to create like a little shape here that might just go out of frame. We want to make sure that it gets a little bit wider as it gets kind of closer. So I'm just trying to create the rough animation right now. Let's take a look what this looks like. All right, that's 24 frames per second, and that's clearly way too fast. So I'm going to try to slow it down. We'll go to that settings. I will drop this back down to 12. And let's bring it back. Okay. Interesting. There's another app we can try to animate in. This app is called Loom. What I like about Loom is it's very flexible. You hit the play button and you can kind of start animating right away. And these are all vectors, so you can go in and change things like the size and the taper, the visibility. And this offers quite a bit of flexibility. We can zoom in. If we want more contrast, we can change the background, make it a little bit darker, maybe even like a gray. And I'll make these like a slightly lighter gray. So I'm just kind of adding to this volume here. Kind of resembles like a little rain cloud or something right now. Okay, let's add a new layer. I'm gonna long press, hit the plus button. On this layer, I'm gonna drop the color to be a little bit more shadows. And I'm gonna place the shadows beneath here. Let me try those shadows. Let's see if we can do an alpha. I'll try to do like the intersection of these two layers. Maybe I don't do the different negative. Let's just try mask. Oh, there we go. So now with the mask, we can use this to kind of create the shadows underneath parts of the design. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna duplicate this one back. And we're gonna see if we can put some light colors back on top of this. I kind of see a little face of something in there. All right, let's work on a new layer and we'll do some sketching in a bright green color so it's easy to see. I'm going to drop the number of frames to just 1. That way we can kind of sketch out this thing. So I'm thinking, oops, let's drop the thickness. You know, if these kind of look like eyes, and then if we have like a maybe more of like longer ear things, we can kind of get these little monster feet. Okay, I think that might work. I'm going to put this on a lower layer. Let's start off by filling in like the back body. Okay. Great. Now let's add some little arms. Great, let's get the legs going there. And let's get some little feet going. And let's make these ears a little bit longer. Let's get that shadow going. And let's cover up some of those shadows. All right, we're going to switch this to a nice dark color. And then we're going to drop the frame rate to just about maybe 2. We'll go like, let's go ahead and pause it on 1 frame. Oops. So this will be the pupils of this character. Okay. Changing the color of the eyes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just make another layer. I'm going to set this to invert, and we're going to drop this to just being like one keyframe as well. There's a type of shape, I'm going to pause it for a second, that encloses in on itself, and that's not the shape. Is it this one? No, there it is. Okay, I don't know how to get rid of layers. Oh, there we go. Cool, so I'm just gonna fill in this whole shape here. I'm gonna move this layer beneath most of the other settings. This way I can kind of just fill in shapes a little bit easier and get rid of our guide a little bit sooner. Okay, we're just going to stop there and I'll see if I can use this as an AI input.